We continue now at the top of Daf Gimel Amid Beis Meseches Nedarim. This is Nedarim Daf 3b. On the previous summit, the Gemara said that according to the Man Amar that the Torah does not speak Keloshen B'nei Adam, so Lindor Neder becomes extra, and then you have to find something to do with Nazir Lahazir. And so the Gemara says, according to that Man Amar, Nazir Lahazir teaches us Shahanazirus Chal al HaNazirus, that one Nazirus can be Chal on top of another Nazirus. And the Mefarish over here says, Shahanazirus Chal al HaNazirus, Shem Haya Nazir, meaning, let's say a person's a Nazir, V'yamar Hareini Nazir, and the Nazir says, I'm going to be a Nazir. So Chal al Nazirus, that second one would also be Chal. When that first set of Nazirus finishes, he's got to be a Nazir once again. And the Gemara continues, now, according to the one who said that the Torah does speak in the normal fashion that man speaks, and so then we said, according to that Man Amar, that Nazir Lahazir teaches us that the partial phrase of saying one is a Nazir is going to be the same thing as the full phrase. So according to that Man Amar, where does that Man Amar learn out this idea that one Nazirus can be Chal and another Nazirus? Nazirus Chal al Nazirus. Now it would work out fine if that Man Amar who happens to hold Dibur Torah Koloshim B'nei Adam also holds like the Man Amar that one Nazirus is not Chal on another Nazirus. Ela Yisvir like a Man Amar Nazirus Chal al Nazirus. But if the Man Amar who says Dibur Torah Koloshim B'nei Adam happens to hold like the Man Amar that says Nazirus is Chal on Nazirus, so Menole. So what is the source for this idea that one Nazirus can be Chal on the other? And the Gemara answers, Neimakra Lizor. No, because the pasuk could have said Lizor. Mai Lahazir. What's this extra way of saying it? Lahazir. Shamat Mina Tarti. So you could actually learn two things from that pasuk now, and that's how you can learn out that one Nazirus is Chal on another Nazirus. And the Gemara continues, Ma'arova Amri. In the West they say, Istana Demapik Le Yados Min Lindor Neder, that there is a Tana that learns out the concept of Yados from Lindor Neder. That would be according to the Man Amar that the Torah does not speak Keloshem B'nei Adam, so that's an extra phrase. The is Tana, and there's actually another Tana, Demapik Le Min Kol Hayotze Mi Piv Yasa, learns it out from a different pasuk altogether. Kol Hayotze Mi Piv Yasa, the idea is anything that comes out from his mouth, that is going to be a good neder. The Mefarish over here says, "He's Tana demapik liyados milindor neder de lo svirole dibur Torah koloshim b'nei Adam," because again, this Tana doesn't hold that the Torah speaks like man, and therefore this is an extra phrase, lindor neder. Min kechol hayotz mi piv yasa demashma b'chol inyan de neder. If you say kechol hayotz mi piv yasa, sounds like any way you make the neder, even if it's yados, even if it's a partial phrase. And the Gemara continues, Amar Mar, the master said, quoting what we said previously, Uman nedarim over bebal yachel ubal ta'acher. So we said that just like by nedarim, one can transgress bal yachel and bal ta'acher. Bal yachel meaning you don't fulfill the neder, and bal ta'acher meaning to say that you delay the fulfillment of the neder. So therefore the same thing is going to be true. By nazirus, one can be over bal yachel and bal sa'acher. So the Gemara says, Bishlam bal yachel din nedarim ashkachas. I understand how a person can violate bal yachel when it comes to nedarim. It makes sense. Could go into amar kikor zu ochel. For example, let's say a person makes a neder to eat a particular loaf, v'lo achel, and he doesn't eat it. So over mishum bal yachel devaro. That's a transgression of bal yachel devaro. He's not fulfilling his word. Ela bal yachel de naziros hechim ashkachas. But how do you come up with an idea of bal yachel by naziros? Kevan damar hareini nazir, because once a person says I am a nazir, havale nazir, the person then becomes a nazir. And achel, and if he then eats what he's not supposed to eat, kam le bal yochel, so he violates the yisur of eating, bal yochel. And shas, if he drinks what he's not supposed to drink, kam le bal yishta, so then he's violated bal yishta. But where's the bal yachel devaro over here? The person at the end of the day is a nazir. And so the Gemara says, Amar Rava says, Lavar olav b'shnayim. The idea over here is, no, he's actually going to transgress both. For example, if he eats, not only will he transgress bal yochel, he'll also transgress bal yachel. And the Gemara continues, Baal ta'acher de naziris hechem ashkachas lava. How are you going to come up to a concept of delaying the naziris? Kevan damar hareini nazir, because again, once somebody says, I am a nazir, havale nazir, then he becomes a nazir. Achel kamle b'bal yochel. If he eats, he violates bal yochel. So therefore, how are you going to come up with a situation where he delayed it? And the Gemara says, "Ba'omer l'cheshe'erza ahe nazir." The person says that when I want to, I'm going to be a nazir. But the Gemara says, 1 second, v'yomer kishe'erza, but if he says, when I want to, I'm going to do it, so lekabal ta'acher, there's no problem of delaying it, because he said he'll do it when he wants to, and he doesn't want to. And the Gemara says, Amar Rava says, can go into Amar, for example, let's say he says as follows, Lo iftar min ha'olam, I won't depart from this world, ad shehei nazir, until I become a nazir. D'minahi shaita havalei nazir, because from that very moment he's going to be a nazir. Midi dahavi ha'omer le'ishto, it's similar to a case where a person says to his wife, Harezu gitech sha'achas kodem isasi. Let's say he says, this is your get, you're going to be divorced one moment before my death, and the halacha happens to be asur lechol b'truma miyad, so she's not allowed to truma immediately, meaning she's considered divorced immediately because he might die in the next moment. And so you see from there that what do we say? Kol shaita v'shaita dilma mayis. Every moment he might die, and so therefore she might be divorced immediately. Hachanami la'alter have a nazir. So too over here, he's going to be a nazir immediately. De'amrinon dilma hashtamayis, because we say maybe right now he's going to die. And the Mefarish explains, Ba'omer l'chesha'erza ehe nazir. The case of Baal Ta'achar could be when he says that when I want to, I'm going to become a nazir. Di'imashi le kam le be'Baal Ta'achar. Because if he delays, that's going to be Baal Ta'achar. But the Gemara said, Akati, my Baal Ta'achariko, that's not going to be Baal Ta'achar. Kaleimas deboy l'mahavi, matzi l'mahavi. Whenever he wants, he can become. V'lesbe misham Baal Ta'achar. If he delays it, that's not Baal Ta'achar. He doesn't want to become a nazir yet. It's not going to be a problem. And so finally, the Gemara answered, Hachanami la'alter have a nazir. If he says that I'm not going to depart from the world until I'm a nazir, so then he has to start immediately. If he delays, in that case, it actually is Baal Ta'achar. Because we say, maybe right now he'll die. Because he said he wouldn't depart from the world until he's a nazir, so we have to assume he might die in the next moment, and he has to become a nazir immediately. And if not, that will be Baal Ta'achar. We'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Dalid Amud Aleph.